Yeah. Okay.
How's that?
That's fine. Here we go. Well, I read something pretty interesting, and I don't think it'll surprise you too much about fraud with Snap.
No.
Oh yeah, no, imagine that.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, let me pull this up. You're going to be interested. Let me see initial data from the USDA's Food and Nutrition Service. Well, Alabama leading the nation with more than 26,000 stolen SNAP benefit claims. California follows. Imagine that with 25,818, and New York is third with 25,210. So nationwide, 226,000 fraudulent SNAP benefit claims and more than 691,000 unauthorized transactions have been approved.
So this is
there
the
you
ones
go.
they know about.
Right. This
So
is
what do
the
you
ones.
think? You can add another 10% to that number?
Oh,
Maybe
come on.
more?
You're gonna you would at least have to double it, minimum.
Well, I was blown away when they first started talking about during the government shutdown, 42 million Americans on SNAP. And I was thinking, heck, our country's only about 340.
Well, yeah.
So you got more people in America than on some type of program through food assistance than the whole country of Canada has population.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's ridiculous. And I don't care how bad the economy is, that many people on food assistance is insane.
And we haven't even talked about the Salvation Army, the food banks, like the Great Northern Plains food deal and all that people use it. And a lot of people need it. I get it. It's not not like everything's so robust. Everybody's making $75 an hour.
But I promise you, there's going to be a big percentage of people that are on SNAP that would never walk into a food bank, a food pantry, or whatever. That's not, to me, that's a different thing. If you're walking into a food bank, that means you need food. But a lot of these people on SNAP are using it to buy ribeye steaks and potato chips and soda pop and Gatorade and all this nonsense. Now, look, I'm not opposed to anything I just said. I literally consume all of those things. But guess what? I go to work, I make money, and then I consume them with my money that I've paid taxes on. And then, of course, I get taxed again because I'm purchasing something.
Well,
do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I get it. But let me tell you this. Years ago, we were fortunate enough. I made decent money to put our kids in private school. And my wife, to help us save money, the principal said, if you'd like to work part-time, we can discount for some of your children. She said, well, great, because I'd like to be around them anyway. So I got to tell you this one little child every day. Now, this is private school.
Okay.
You're supposed to be paying, but they comp several people out of the churches and that kind of stuff, and that's fine. This little girl every day had a cheese stick and like a fruit cup. That was her lunch.
Yeah.
And my wife said to me, I need to bring this to somebody's. I need to bring this to somebody's attention.
Right.
I'm giving this little girl lunch and stuff. I go, well, who is her parents? Because now I didn't realize this is me. I let a little pride get in the way. I'm like, I need to talk to this guy. What are you? But you never know. You just never know what's going on. And so, without being judgmental, sometimes, folks, we just got to help people.
Well, yeah, but you see, that's what irritates me, I think, the most, because you'll have kids on reduced lunch or free lunch programs, okay, during school, right? And a lot of those parents are not even on SNAP.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hold on.
Okay.
So they're not on SNAP, but they're on reduced or free lunch, and the parents work and all this. But then if that reduced lunch, if the parents forget to pay, then the the lunch lady takes their tray and dumps it in the trash
Yeah. Yeah.
and hands them a sack lunch.
I got a story for you there.
Now, I tell you what, I saw that one time. I saw it one time when I was in a school, and I saw it happen, and they almost kicked me out of that school because I lost my mind.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't blame you there, but I'll tell you another story. A good buddy of mine that I worked with, he's in the car business. He was at the school one day, and he noticed one or two of the little kids had some type of bag, I guess the bag of shame or something that
Sure,
the
yeah.
lunch lady handed them because the parents didn't have any money or whatever.
Right.
So my friend, and I would mention his name, but everybody in Williston knows him. But he went to the school and he said, "Hey, any of those kids that you're going to give that little bag of shame to, that they
Right.
got to go sit with them, I'm gonna put X amount of dollars," and I don't know if he used his credit card or wrote him a check or whatever. "You just take it right out of that and give them the regular tray," like
Right.
what you were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's what happened though. A bunch of parents found out about it, and so all of a sudden they needed to be on that program. Now,
Yeah.
isn't that something?
Yeah.
How about getting up and going to work? We got 2.5% unemployment. So what that means is if you're not working here, and I know the economy's not that great, if you're not working here, there's a reason.
Yeah. There's something you can do to make money. Listen, to me, and I guess that's the point. It's always the people that want to take advantage. I am not opposed to food stamps or SNAP benefits or whatever you want to call it. I'm not opposed to it at all. But think about WIC. Okay, excuse me. Now, when you're on WIC, it's a federal program, right? You're only allowed to buy certain things on WIC. Now, why can't they do that with SNAP? Why with SNAP can you buy potato chips and soda pop? It makes 0 sense in candy. It makes no sense to me at all. You should have the same rules apply to SNAP as you do to WIC. If you did that, for one thing, that'd make me a lot happier. For another thing, it would make, would you say 42 million Americans a lot healthier?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Let's talk. Do I have a couple of seconds to talk about the first responders food
Yep.
and toy drive? Okay. So what a great group of men and women are first responders. And this is the 6th year, started right here in Williston.
Yeah.
The first responders food and toy drive. And I remember at the time he was a sergeant. He's now a captain. Martinez walked into my office and said, "Hey, I'd like to do something for the community in that." But I was told I'd be lucky to get a pickup truck full of toys and some food. Well, folks, that first one was so successful because of all the good people here in Williams County,
Yeah,
and Montana. It was unbelievable, and all the people new to the area. I can tell you story after story, and I've been at each and every one of them now.
and I've been to 4 of them
right
out of the 6.
now, there's 5 or 6 of them across the state. Williston still is number one.
The smallest town, but we're still number 1 every year.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of giving people here. There's a lot of people who have paid their dues, who have been through. There's multimillionaires here that I've heard stories came out here, had nothing but a T-shirt and a sack lunch.
That's right.
So this is a working town, blue collar town, and a lot of people have made great money, but they've earned it, and they're not afraid to share it. So Saturday, December 6th, out at the Walmart parking lot, and it's pretty nice of Walmart to let us use that parking lot because that's a busy time of year, and they need about every parking spot they can get. So big thanks to them. The Border Patrol, the Sheriff's Department, my gosh, Fire Department, emergency response, all those, and of course, the North Dakota Highway Patrol. So big thank you to all of them, and I know it'll be successful. But I'll tell you what, Bismarck and Minot, they almost got us last year, but I brought out the Grinch.
That's right.
That ended it.
That's right.
So kids like getting the picture with the Grinch.
Yeah, if you could pull him away from around the corner, pull his mask off so he could smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, we're not going to have the Grinch that's into the tobacco.
Right.
Year.
Yeah. I'm not
God
going to
bless
have
him, though.
Smoker Grinch this year.
He worked it as hard as he could.
He did. He did a good
You
job.
know, I had to have that thing dry cleaned.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Okay. We got to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the Epstein files. KTGO 1090, 92.7 The Flag. Hang tight. Okay. Export audio. I don't know who's out there in YouTube land, but throw us a comment, throw us a like, subscribe to the channel. That would be fantastic if you could do that. As soon as I download this segment, we're going to get right back going. I know we're not supposed to do it this way because it's boring, but during this time, we're playing commercials because this show does air on terrestrial radio.
Can they download that app from anywhere? 1090 AM The Flag. I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1090 AM Flag Radio. Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are. You can download that app. That's for sure. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. Drew, I want to talk about something that is controversial, to say the least, especially on this station, on this radio station. This is not something that that you're going to hear a bunch of, but it's an actual thing. So about 16% of Gen Z approve or somewhat approve of the United States support for the Israeli government. 16%. Now,
wow.
Now, that number doesn't really fluctuate if you're talking about a conservative or if you're talking about a Democrat. It's very similar across the board. These younger people, they don't like us sending billions of dollars to another country to support another country when our veterans are homeless and can't feed themselves, when there's literally millions of just homeless people, whether they're veterans or not, with the economy like it is. You have to understand these are kids that can't even afford to move out of their parents' basement. And some of them do work hard. You know, not all Gen Zs are spoiled brats, smoking pot and playing video games all day.
Right.
You're talking 30 years old and under. There's a lot of 28 and 25-year-old professionals out there that work 60, 70 hours a week like we did. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying the future is looking like there's going to be a change, because these younger folks just don't like it. And you're between 46 and like 50% of our age group.
Right.
So there's a lot of people out there that don't like us supporting the Israeli government. Has nothing to do, and people will call that anti-Semitic, and it's not. And I'll tell you why. They're not talking about the religion. They're not talking about the race of people. They're specifically talking about supporting a government that should be able to support itself. That's what they're talking about, and that's what they mean. I just wanted to. I found that to be interesting because I thought there'd be a huge gap between the left
Right.
and the right.
You would think.
Yeah, but not if you're 30 years old or younger. Almost none of them believe in it.
Wow.
It's over 80% hate the idea.
That's amazing. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, no, that's why me either, and that's why when I read it, I had to bring it up. So I don't know what you guys think. If you're listening on KTGO, email us Downshift Radio.
Well, Israel is very, very wealthy, and that somewhat bothers me when I see these TV ads and they show like a 90-year-old woman. It just infuriates me. And then they make it look like she's wrapped up in a coat and it's freezing in there, and she's got the tattoos from Auschwitz, and then they're asking for money. And then I look up the organization, and they're paying the president of that organ $800,000.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you take 150 and send her some heating oil?
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Anyway, folks, just be careful with what you do. And I'll tell you what else. When you were bringing up Israel and that, I just pulled it up. Number of billionaires, 41 billionaires in that small country.
Yeah.
Which is very high per capita in the world. So 6.7 billionaires for every 1 million people. That's not a bad deal.
No, that's actually a lot of billionaires if you think about it. But I mean, I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. It's not that there's a lack of money there, and I understand that a lot of banks and that type of thing are tied to the Jewish people. I get all that, but that's why there is a lot of money there. But at the same time, right now there's a growing sentiment that we're giving Israel entirely too much money.
Well,
and Americans are starting to not like it.
They're considered God's chosen people, I guess, for a lack of a better way to say it. And we are not just the United States, but us as individuals. We are supposed to take care of the poor. We are. And,
sure, we're supposed to take care of the poor, but you just said that they're not poor.
Well, you got a valid point there, but I got to tell you this. I was shocked when Chicago, $90 million a week, maybe it's Illinois, the whole state, but $90 million a week to support their food stamp program.
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah.
Where does that money come from?
Well, where do you think it comes from?
I know where it comes from, but has anybody stopped for a second and went, wow.
Right. But that's kind of the point, and that's why this younger generation doesn't like supporting, and it's not just Israel. It would be any country. They think that those billions of dollars could be way better spent here in America, because where is that $90 million a week coming from?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That's a lot of hamburgers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
WTI below $60. We don't like that, Eric.
No. Well, and again, if it has to drop and it has to be low, this is the perfect, this is a perfect time of year, because at least in this area, we shut down anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the oil rigs are shutting down. The workovers are shutting down, and they'll be shut down now till after the first of the year, maybe all the way until the thaw, until April.
Are you excited about Thanksgiving? Just around the corner.
No, not a bunch.
I wanted to talk turkey. I thought you'd be excited.
Well,
the difference between wild turkey, and I'm not talking the booze, because
right,
there is a difference, 101. But anyway, a wild turkey, they're brown feathers, black feathers,
sure,
whatever, camouflage. And the good old butterball,
right,
that's the big white turkey.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this. And I thought, why is that? Well, the turkey farmers have figured out a way from years and years ago to put a little more meat on the bone of that domestic turkey.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know this, big breast, and I'm talking on a turkey.
On a turkey.
On a turkey.
Let's clarify.
I wanted to clarify that, folks. If there's small children in the car, they may want to put their hands over their ears. But
right.
No, seriously, they want those large breasts, and not only for the money part of it, but the turkeys can't fly because their breasts are so big.
Well, yeah. Well, exactly.
Well, you can get them 25, 30, 40 pounds, and a wild turkey, if you get one at 20 pounds, is a big bird.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why, if you remember the old 70s, 80s WKRP in Cincinnati,
oh, yeah.
the turkey drop.
Les Nessman.
Yeah, they dropped all those turkeys, and it was
giving away turkeys at the mall.
Yeah, they dropped them out of a helicopter and didn't know they couldn't fly.
I think that's still on YouTube, that clip.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Okay. We have to take a break. When we come back, oh man, there's a bunch I want to talk about. So you're just going to have to hang tight because I'm going to decide what I want to talk about. KTGO 1090 and 92.7, the flag. Hold on. Okay. All righty. Whoever's out there in YouTube land, give us a like. Subscribe to the channel, please. We need some love. We're going to, and eventually we're going to have a new studio. We're going to have a whole new broadcast system, and things will be quite a bit different, and it'll just be a lot better. But, it's better, just to get it going than to get it perfect. We can get it perfect as we go. All right. Here we go. Okay, fun fact, Drew, that I read today, and I shouldn't say it because I haven't fact checked it, but it came from something that is normally, not the National Enquirer. But I read an article that raccoons are starting to domesticate just naturally.
They're what?
They're starting to domesticate naturally. And a lot of animals do it, and there's certain things that will happen to an animal when they start to domesticate. If you take an animal, even a wild animal, but you raise it around people, and if you start breeding that animal and raising them around people, after a few generations, a few things will happen. Their ears will stop standing up; they'll get floppy. Their legs will get shorter. Their faces will get more round, and their snouts will get shorter. And it's, it's nature. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that is what is happening to raccoons. They're becoming less and less wild. Now, I guess my thoughts on that is there's less and less wild for raccoons to be as cities grow and that type of thing. And more raccoons are in urban areas, and they see people all the time, and they see, household pets and that type of thing. And they're not eating as much wild food. They're eating out of trash cans, or people are feeding them and that type of thing. So they're starting to domesticate.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, and a pig, just to put a little topping on this, a pig will do the opposite, but it doesn't take generations. It literally will take months to a year. If you let a pig out in the wild, a pig that you raised, let's say you raised him
Mm-hmm.
and you pet him every day, fed him all this, good food and all that. And because, they can be trained, they're very smart.
Wow.
You can litter box train a pig and that type of thing. Or train them to go outside if they're in the house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you let that pig out within a year, it will thin out. Its snout will grow. Its tusks will start to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it never had tusks before.
You reminded me of a story. When I was in high school, I was working with this older African-American guy. We were like cleaning floors. And I said, Bill, how'd you get into this? He said, well, I'll tell you. I was working at the slaughtering plant here in Missouri. We slaughtered pigs.
Yeah.
And he said they'd come through, and they hit him in the head, and then it hooks him. He said this one pig had tears in its eyes, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Bill drank a lot.
That's that is a complete fabrication. And I was looking something up on my phone, and I was listening, and I'm like,
Drew's
no,
doing it again.
no.
I got some old war stories, let me tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, had a tear in its eye.
Yeah,
and
I
he
bet.
couldn't do it.
No.
Gave up his job.
Yeah.
Ended up scrubbing floors.
And what was that pig's name? Let me guess. It was Chris P. Bacon.
Nice comeback.
Was that his name?
Nice comeback. No, I don't know the pig's name.
Okay.
I don't even know if the pig made it.
Because
they probably switched.
I'm going to assume no. Well, he made it to a dinner table.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you have? I know you.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. California's back in I think it's 18 billion. I read or something. Groceries are up. Turkeys. When I was talking about that, I forgot to mention they had some kind of avian flu, and it took out a lot of turkeys in North Dakota and South Dakota. So what would have normally been like 84 cents a pound at your local grocery store is over $2 is what they're saying. It happened. So I don't know. That's
I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing 65 to 85 cents. But I mean, I guess if you're in California or places like that, but I mean, at least here, I haven't seen the prices go up like that.
I wonder on the turkeys before they get it if there's a tear in their eye.
Probably not. Turkeys are very dumb.
Oh, okay.
They have very small brains for their big bodies.
It's like 4 to 6 months and they're fat and ready to go.
Well, it depends on what you're feeding them. If you're feeding them full of crap and growth hormones and, like the butterball, I mean,
allegedly, there's probably a lot of butterball fans out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned California.
Yeah.
I am curious. I am very curious how much of Hollywood is in an absolute panic right now over the pending release of the Epstein files.
Well, did you see some Congress lady was actually texting back and forth with Epstein trying to get information. How should I do this and how should I do that?
During the hearings.
Session. Yeah.
Well, Epstein was coaching her how to burn Trump.
Somebody texted me, one of our buddies from Florida texted me and said that Clinton was on the deal 50 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he texted me the same thing. I can't say what I texted back.
Right. Right. This is all allegedly, but
yeah. But I'm just kind of curious because everybody is talking about what politician is going to be on this list, right? And that's all everybody's talking about. But if we're going to open it up, I kind of want to know, the Hollywood types as well, because you've got these Hollywood types with a lot of money and a lot of fame using their platform to delve into politics. So I'm kind of curious, since there's a crossover there, I would like to find out the crossover on the Epstein files. I want to know who's a pervert in Hollywood. And obviously we all kind of know. If you follow Hollywood at all, you have a guess anyway, a pretty good guess. But I'm interested to find out, because I got to tell you, in the last 36 months, some of my favorite actors, I can't even watch one of their
No,
movies anymore
no.
because I've seen too much. And I turn on one of their movies and I'm like, nope, I can't even
I
watch it.
agree.
I don't even want to.
I agree with you there. And then this Cook kid that the sniper took his brains out that shot at Trump.
Sure.
They're finding out he was a little funny. He was a little light in the loafers.
Well, but here's the scary part about that. Because everybody, I mean, all the news was like, he didn't have a social media profile. He didn't have a social media profile. And Kash Patel said he didn't have a social media profile. But then guess what? He had all kinds of social media profile. I saw clips of him target practicing with a gun. And yes, he was apparently furry adjacent to the term furry.
Yeah.
We won't say he was a furry, but
How do you
he was
think,
furry adjacent.
you know, is it both parents are working, you know, the father's working job and a half, the mother's working. And so while you're at work, the kids at home trying on teddy bear suits. I mean, how does this happen?
Here's the thing. I grew up, sometimes I didn't see my parents for literal years. Okay. I lived in a van. I lived in foster homes. Right.
Did you ever once think about becoming a furry?
I never thought one time in my whole life.
Van, you might go, yeah, come on in.
Yeah, I never thought one time in my whole life that I'd like to relieve myself in a litter box. No, no, it didn't happen. So I don't understand it.
I wonder how a janitor at a school feels about that.
Well,
the union stand behind him when he grabs the kid and slams him against the wall?
No.
Oh,
nope.
Maybe calls the vet.
You have to be a teacher to get away with that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a different
Speaking
union.
of teachers, I saw a little interview with the teacher in California. Of course, he had the ponytail down to his ankles. Half his class was missing.
Really? Okay.
They're scared. ICE is on the move.
Oh, yeah. Now that I could see. Okay. When we come back, it will be our fourth segment. So we'll talk about whatever we want, just like we did in the first three. And I don't know, because I know you haven't done any automotive news. Oh, we have to do sponsors when we come back too. KTGO 1090 92.7, the flag. Hold on. We'll be right back.
You ever think about a dog walking by the van? That's borderline.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, really quick. I just want to get sponsors out of the way. We have Mondak Hardware. Definitely spend the 6 extra minutes to drive there up on 85 west of Loves and save a half hour in absolute torment of wandering around a big box store while the employees are trying to hide from you, because that's not going to happen at Mondak Hardware. You're going to save time. Cartoons, Williston, you still have time. I mean, I drove
by there the other day. That place was packed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg's a busy guy, and it's these auto starts. I mean, yeah, he's doing obviously a lot of stereo work, but the auto starts, he's super busy right now. I was talking to him not too long ago. Uh, and yeah, so he's happy, except for he's not happy because he's working till 2 in the morning because he can't find a suitable employee that's going to work. So he's a little bit bummed there. So he's super busy, but you still have time to get down there. And then My Pillow and More.
Oh yeah. And let me tell you, the mattresses, have you checked some of those out?
Absolutely.
There's one from M. Lilly. Listen, when the people come in, I say, put your hands on this mattress if you sleep hot. Their eyes light up.
Yeah.
There's actually and the pillow that goes with it.
The pillow that goes with it's all cooling.
Yeah.
And then if you want the power base, it's got fans underneath it that blow up through the mattress.
Yeah, it's amazing. So listen, we've got a Black Friday deal coming, and I'm going to be announcing it hopefully tomorrow. Lori is trying to make sure in Brooklyn all the inventory is going to be set up for the new POS system. That's the point of sale deal. Now we have that already for the My Pillow product, but we need it for the Helix. And did you? Oh my gosh, chiropractor recommended.
Yeah,
had a young man in here with he had broke his back. It was just terrible, and just a nice young man. He said, "Sir, do you finance?" Well, guess what?
We do.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's financing.
Cool. So we're just a few days from setting that all up. We hope to get some exciting news to you about our Black Friday sale. And I forgot real quick. If you're into organics, like my wife, we got an organic mattress. You got none of the chemical type stuff. It's amazing. I don't even know all the stuff about
polyester, none of that.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Legends Off-Road. If you need your truck lifted, if you need a detail, if you need a windshield in your vehicle, definitely call Legends Off-Road. They're great people. Kevin's a good guy.
Yeah.
So there we go. Now, what did you have? Because we're done there.
On the auto side of things, a lot of your manufacturers are, of course, buying down the rates, giving some low APRs. Now, some of them, unfortunately, it's only 36 months, so that makes that payment somewhat hard to swallow. But here's the bad side of things: the repo rate for the auto industry is very, very high.
Well, and we've been talking about it all week, obviously.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to surpass 08.
Yeah.
And I remember in 08, I was a GSM at a large used car facility, and the banks were turning everybody down, turning them down. And I would see these HD on the credit, and I know you know what that is, Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't really know. And my brother, John, down in San Diego, worked at a large Harley Davidson store. I called him. I said, how in the heck are you getting these people approved on Harley Davidsons, on motorcycles, and we can't get them approved? He said, Drew, a guy will let them repo everything in the house before he'll let them take that Harley.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's true. And not only that, let's face it, motorcycles are harder to repossess because they're in a garage, they're put away, and the repo man can't show up at midnight and just snatch it and run. It doesn't work that way with a motorcycle. So they're harder to repossess. You have to think about that too.
Right.
So it gives them more time to catch up and that type of thing.
And then real quick, I had a guy ask me, he knew I was in the car business. He said, how come we don't have a Kia or Hyundai dealer here? I said, well, that could possibly happen, but like Toyota, Williston's too close to Minot and too close to Dickinson to get a franchise yet. Now, that might change with population later, but we'll see what happens.
Guess the closest Mitsubishi store to us.
Did you look that up?
Of course I did.
Let me get Billings.
No, farther.
Wow.
Farther. Yep. 6 hours and 4-minute drive if it's not snowing, and that would be Fargo.
Wow.
So there you go. And going west, you've almost got to hit the Rockies before.
Well, that would make sense because you're close to Minnesota, and there's a lot of more people over there.
Well, there's a lot more people, and for some, it's strange. Like I said, I spent some time in Wisconsin not too long ago, and nobody drove trucks, and their weather's terrible. But everybody drove cars.
Well, we're truck capital of the world.
We are. It's crazy here when it comes to pickups, but I was really surprised when I was in Wisconsin. I was in Kenosha, Wisconsin for a week, and you couldn't give a truck away. Nobody wanted one.
Wow.
They didn't even want all-wheel drive cars.
I remember working for a big Ford dealer out in South Carolina, and nobody wanted four-wheel drive.
Well, that's different. It's not driving snow all winter in South Carolina.
Right.
It is
Right.
in Wisconsin.
So your different markets, you trade in a two-wheel drive truck up here, you're gonna take a hit.
Yeah, you're not getting anything for it.
You
It's
can
not
hold
worth
on
it.
till you get back down to Texas or Louisiana or South Carolina, you'll be okay. Hey, notice of foreclosures is up too. We didn't want to see that, but unfortunately, it's up 19%. That's not good.
It's up 19%.
Yep.
Wow.
Foreclosure filings up 19%. Now they had been slow walking this for a couple years, letting people put it on the end of the loan and
Right.
giving them another loan and on to make all their payments up. And it was unfortunately going the wrong way.
Right. And I will say it again, even though we just talked about this, but I will bring it up again since you did. If your home has been foreclosed, if you had equity in that home, you're entitled to that equity. Don't walk away from it. Get an attorney, and he will help you get that equity. Because what if you only owed $100,000 on a $500,000 house? Well, yeah, so it sells for $400 at auction because the guy got a good deal. You paid off the $100,000 to the bank. There's $300,000 in equity, and that's your money, and it will sit in the county until nobody claims it, and then they'll suck it up. Don't let that happen. It happens to too many people, and that's just free money for the county. And it doesn't matter where you're at. That's how it works. Now, there's certain places that you better have a good lawyer because they're gonna do anything they can to not give you that money, but it is yours and you're entitled to it. So I just wanted to throw that out there again, really quick.
Inflation, drugs, street drugs have got to be really climbing with Trump blowing up all these cartel boats trying to come our way. Do we have any folks out there that are using that could let us know if the price?
Yeah. Let us know how much that
compared to the price of turkeys for Thanksgiving this year. Is your cocaine going to be a little more spendy?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it is.
And some of them probably getting around the family need that cocaine.
Well, and that's the thing. The drug boats they're blowing up, that's not fentanyl. That's what that is. That's cocaine. There's no fentanyl down there. Fentanyl comes from Mexico and China.
Did you see the bust in Seattle, largest in history? And of course, a politician, judge, was hiding it in the basement.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. Seattle is completely off the hook with this.
What do you think a judge makes, though? A couple $100,000 a year?
Yeah, probably.
That's not enough, and he probably knows some other stuff that we don't know. A lot of them own those blow and go companies.
Yes.
You get a DUI in one of those states. Oh, you got to have blow and go.
Yeah, or they own their own bail bond company.
Yeah, unless you're an
Something like
illegal alien, then you get away with the DUI.
Right.
Because obviously they just ran over and killed a little girl, 8-year-old girl, prior DUI, illegal in the country.
Okay, we've got to go. We got to wrap this. KTGO 1090 92.7, the flag. We will talk again tomorrow.